Bring it back.
Hi guys, what's going on? I'm Ivo and today we are back with a review of Kingdoms and Castles. So I played this game quite a lot a couple of months ago, really got into it, and then I did a bit of a let's play. I think we got up to sort of 8 episodes, something like that, built up quite a nice little sort of kingdom and little castle, unsurprisingly. But then I've sort of got a bit busy, got into a few other games and sort of not done anything with it for a couple of months. And so I thought I would come back and check what's happened since I've last been in the game, see what updates have been released, because it is still a Steam Early Access game. So it's going to be sort of a bit of a review of the game as it is now. Obviously, as we can just see in the top, the latest update was the infrastructure update. And for those of you who don't know, Kingdoms and Castles is a sort of polygon, low poly city building game where you build up with a sort of a war theme. You get dragons and Vikings to deal with. You build up your castle and various little small economic buildings, and you sort of go with that. So we'll just do a quick a random town seed like that. Yes, we'll accept that, and have a little look at the game. Pick our banner. Our kingdom is Ocean Breeze. So just wait for this to load in. Hopefully the game runs smoothly and loads, which is always a good start. So yes, so first things, we have to place a keep. So as you load in, let me just place that anywhere. There we go. That will get built. So each land is sort of procedurally generated, so you can get different terrain each time. It can be sort of one large mainland, sort of like what we've got here, or it can sort of be comprised of a series of smaller islands, which you see dotted around. So our keep has been built there, and then this gives us access to sort of a wide range of other buildings that we can use. So first things first, I think we need like an industrial building or something like that. What do we need? Wood, so a forester probably. No, I can't even afford a forester. Fast forward the game. What can I build? A hovel? Let's build a road and then a hovel. Like that. And let's just stick a hovel down to house a few villagers. So get that built quickly. Despite the fact they're not very detailed little figures, they actually all do jobs. People actually go and build there. Buildings aren't just built themselves; they actually require idle peasants to build them before you can actually, go and collect them. So I want to assign people to chop down some trees. Is what I want to do to get enough wood. When to get wood, I can then build a forester, and then with wood, I can then build stonemasons, because that's sort of 3 major collectible resources, which is wood, stone, and iron. Such as here, and you have to have mines to quarry stone and iron, and a forestry to chop down wood. Which is obviously not especially surprising. So let's just build a forester. I also need some stone. Can I build a quarry? Of course, I keep forgetting that you have to build roads everywhere. Obviously, when I was last playing the game, we just had roads as the option. Now we have the option of stone roads, which are obviously just a superior quality road, which allows people to travel quicker than just standard roads. So as your little village gets a lot bigger, you can make use of higher quality roads. What else have we got that's been introduced? Some more of the statues are new. The wooden castle blocks are also new. When I was last playing, we only had the standard castle blocks. It's nice to see the introduction of some new buildings, some moats, that sort of thing. We've also got other things. Noria provides water to aqueducts. Oh, we've got aqueducts and reservoirs. This is obviously improving the quality of the land. These are sort of all things that were not in the game when I was playing, so it's nice to see them as an addition as well. So hopefully we've got that and we can now build our quarry. This will be placed adjacent to... Oh, is this all unusable stone? Oh, that's unhelpful, isn't it? Why have lots of stone? Stone there is available to quarry. Okay, let's expand our road a little bit more. out to this piece of usable stone. Let's do that. Now, we haven't got enough wood because we've spent it all on the road. So let's chop down some more trees. And then we should be able to use that wood to then finally build a stone quarry, and then we can use that stone quarry to then plan to place a forester, and we can get going. So I hope this gives you like a little bit of an idea of what the game's like and what the game is about. Obviously I've just got it in peaceful mode at the moment, so there's nothing to really, no dangers other than fire. But if you play with like the Vikings on, you can get dragons and Vikings sort of attacking you, which can be sort of problematic if you've not got any defences. And obviously you can build up, obviously I've not got enough resources at the moment, you can use castle blocks to build walls. And you can also stack them up on top of each other to make sort of towers, and then on top of them you can place things like the archer towers and the ballista towers. You get advisors in your court, which can suggest things. So we need to build farms, roads, then houses, and the military person is just happy just to say hello. No immediate threats apparently. You've got to keep an eye on your food. You have to build farms. To offset the agriculture and that sort of thing. And once the quarry gets built, you can, if you put it open, it sets sort of a set amount of all the spare workers will work there up until maximum of 4 people. But if you're short on workers and want people to be specifically building on other tasks, you can always go to the quarry and just tick this little box here, and the quarry will close. You'll stop producing stone, but it will free up workers for other jobs. So that stone quarry is now working. Let's chop down a few more trees, and once we get up to 5 stone and a little bit more wood, we should be able to open a forestry, which is what we want. We also then need to build up more houses, because we're always a bit short on houses. So these are all things that need to be done. So yes, it's quite a fun little game, really sort of open plan. You can really do whatever you like. It's continually being updated. I know they're working on another patch at the moment, particularly to add things like deep water, make the game run a bit better, and add new buildings and new features as well. I think they want to expand sort of the castle building options to give you more choice. So obviously now it's nice that they've added things like the wooden blocks, so you've got a cheaper castle option, because when you want to start building sort of significant sized walls and defensive towers, you use up the stone sort of very rapidly. So a wooden option is a nice little addition to that, I think. I'm going to close this stone quarry, since everyone is stone quarrying but no one is foresting, which is what I need at the moment, is the wood. Another thing about the game you have to consider is your happiness. At the start it's not really a problem, but later on people get a bit depressed if you don't sort them out, and happiness is offset by things like having neighbours, having a well, having access to a church, having access to a library, town square. All these sort of things really improve people's happiness. Forester must be near usable trees. Well, let's place him there, since that's near trees. So these people will then go and build that. And I'm also going to assign another little hovel there, so that then we can have 10 beds, and we might be able to get a few more peasants. Once like every cycle, peasants will visit your kingdom. So like this, my lord, people visited your kingdom, but no still fit to stay. Partly because the happiness is a little bit low, although that's now increasing. If you see, happiness is 76, and this is defined because it has neighbours and has road access. But they don't have access to a well, so that's not giving any happiness bonus, and they've not got any charcoal. So if we don't have enough stone, so once this forester has been built, we should hopefully be doing this shortly. The builders are carrying the wood over, having to collect some from the trees. There we go, just waiting for one wood, and here's the man with the last little wooden plank to finish that off. Excellent. So that's open. Let's open up the stone quarry again. Obviously some people are assigned to the building at the moment, so they're not going to be working until they've done that. Nearly finished. Excellent. So there's now 10 beds. So now hopefully next year when people visit, we should be able to grow our little population a little bit more. And we've got 3 workers there, and no one working at the stone quarry. Brilliant. So we'll wait till our wood builds up a little bit, and then we'll assign some more people to the stone quarry. Or hopefully next year we can also see an increase in people wanting to stay in our little village, particularly now our happiness has gone up. and then we should be able to build a well once we get a little bit more stone. So 2 people visited, but only 1 found a satisfactory home. So we now have 6 people. So you hope you get the idea sort of how this game works, how you build up your sort of community through immigration is the basic idea. If you have more people than there are jobs, you have idle citizens, which is nice. Sort of gives you an idea of what you can do with them. Once you start to go a bit more, you can recruit them through barracks to build up soldiers, and have generals, so you lead your own little armies. But it's mostly sort of a castle building type game. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of what the game is about. I am going to just close... Oh my life, life is good here. Our kingdom attracted 4 new residents, so now we're full again. So hopefully people are now working the stone quarry, which they are, which is good news. So as that stone quarry builds up, we should get enough stone for a well. There are also higher tier buildings. Currently I've just got little hovels, look, but you can build things like cottages, etc. and other things like that. Our people are now about to run out of food, which is going to be a problem. So let's build a couple of farms. No one is available to work on the buildings. Brilliant. Let's close the forestry then, so that people can then actually build these farms. But because we've closed a forestry of 3 people and only 2 new people needed a building, we now have an idle peasant. But we can build a well there as well. And we should see that this should bump the happiness up. Yeah, has access to a well even though it's not yet been built. It's taken the happiness from 76 to 84. And that should... our overall happiness is going down because we've not got any food. Which is obviously a minor problem. But... that's how you increase the happiness, by building certain entertainment buildings, basically. So I hope you enjoyed this little mini review of the game. It is a great little game once you start to get going and you really start to get your town up to something quite more impressive. It does work really well. We can perhaps have a quick look at where we got to on our last little town, and we got to year 75 and sort of see how it grew. You can see sort of how things can soon build up. So like this, I've got big defensive towers and a stone wall lining all along the back. I have a row of manor houses where sort of the higher ranking citizens live. This is a little feature they also introduced, is fire risk. I mean, I had severe problems with fires. I was getting fires breaking out all over the place, even though I have quite a number of wells dotted around the city. So this gives you an idea of the fire risk of different buildings based on how near they are, their proximity to different wells. I also built up a little fort down to the south, bridged across to the island, and was looking to turn this into something as well. And you see I made use of sort of a little bit of a farming area with various mills to increase production. But now, if I was looking at doing it again, I would introduce things like the Noria, the aqueducts in the reservoir, to increase the farm production by supplying them with water. So I hope this gave you a little bit of an interesting idea of what this game's all about. It really is good fun, and it's not very much to buy in the Steam store, so I really do recommend checking it out. Hope you've enjoyed this little review or found it sort of slightly useful. If you have, please give it a like, comment below what you think about this game, and maybe subscribe. I've got lots of I may do some more Kingdoms and Castles Let's Play series, and I've got lots of more interesting indie games coming up shortly. Thanks guys, and I shall see you on the next one.